Okay, so today is going to be lesson 210. We're going to fluently add within 1,000. This is on page 71. We're going to be learning to add within 1,000. So if we look at the different partial sums, you can decompose each add-in by the place value and add the place values to find the partial sums. Okay, we're going to start over. So you're going to decompose these numbers. So this has 700, so 700 and 100 and 100. So we're breaking apart the numbers to be able to add in a different way. Now if it's horizontal, they've taught us to go horizontal. If it is vertical, then we go vertical. But it still looks identical if you look at it either way. So, but you're just putting your totals underneath of your problem when you go like this. The kids need to know how to do both ways. So we have 20 and 20, 60 and 60. So we add those two together and we get 80. 2 and 1, we get 11. So then we take 800 plus 80 plus 11 to get 891. The same thing over here. They're just putting it in the place values in the correct spot. If you look over here, if the kids add straight down, it's not going to work. But if you put the place values in the correct spots, then it works. Even when we're doing it over here, I show them to line it up in the place value spots. So this is a relatively easy lesson. It does talk about adjusting add-ins. I'm not as big on this, but I do show that to them, that if I add one to this side and subtract one, it's keeping the numbers the same because the whole is not changing, and then it's going to give you an easier set of numbers to be able to add. Let's go on down here. We're going to work out this problem. Angel and Daniel find the sum of 348 plus 227. Angel adjusts the add-ins. Daniel uses partial sums. Can either strategy be used to solve? Explain your reasoning. So I'm not going to be looking at can either strategy. So I'm not looking for a yes or no, but I am looking for you to work them out both ways. So for example, if I have written it 348 plus 227, I want to know if you can get this answer correctly by using partial sums. So you should have 300 plus 200 equals 500. Then you go to the tens. We have 40 plus 20. That's 60. I'm going to line my 60 up right underneath of my correct place values. And then I have 8 plus 7. And that's going to be 15. So I'm also going to line that up. Now, they show up there to go 500 plus 60 plus 15. A lot of the kids in the classroom will just draw a line and add it up right here, and that's completely fine with me. So it's going to be 575. So that's the one way. That's one strategy that they were talking about. The other way is the way that we know and we've been explained when we were in elementary school to add. So we have partial sums. So we have 300, and we can even do it on this side, 300 plus 200. Then you're just going to put the 500 on this side. This is something that I've been working with the kids on, that equal sign just means balanced. So if the whole sum is on one side and the equation's on the other, it's still okay. Then we have 40 plus 20, which is 60. And then we have 8 plus 7, which is 15. We add that all together, we get 575. So both answers still the same. still the same. Now, I just want them to solve the equation. That's all I want. All I want you to do is solve the equation. So if you need, however you need to do it, I do want you to know what it means for partial sums to be broken down. So for example, if I wanted to, let's do this one. 700 plus 100 equals 800. 90 plus 10 equals 100. Do you see how I'm lining these up? And then 1 plus 1 equals 2. So it would be 902. This strategy will help you, even if you're doing the old school way is what I call it, because this is the way that we were taught. And it's quicker once you understand the process. 6, 6, 5. So say that I added this up. One way to check it would be partial sums. I could go 100 plus 400 equals 500. 20 plus 40 equals, line it up, 60. And then 3 plus 3 equals 6. So I get 566 again. So that's one way to check to make sure that we've got the correct answer. And you'll get so good at being able to check it, then you'll go, okay, 400 plus 200 is 600. 30 plus 60 is 90. And then 7 plus 9 is 16. So then I have 6. Oh, I got a 10, so, and then 7. Then I can come over here and go 437 plus 269. 16, carry my 1. 10, carry my 1. 7. See how they both give me the same answer? So my answer is 706. This is one way that a mathematician makes sure they got the correct answer. Alright. We've got 367 plus 512. 9, 7, 8. So let's check our math over here. I go, well, 300 plus 500 is 800. 6 plus 1 is 70. And then 7 plus 2 is 9. So add it straight down. And we get, so we check again. So 879. Now let's look at this problem. Pyra is adding, she's adding this number. She adds 3 to 327. Well, if you add 3 to this number, to keep the whole the same, you have to subtract 3 from this number. So let's see if she does that. So she gets to 330. Did she subtract our 3 here? Then she subtracts 3 from the sum. Ooh, interesting. So, after she gets the sum, then she subtracts 3. Was that keeping your whole the same? It is. And let me show you why. So if I add 327 plus 478, this is the y. Okay? So I would have 300 plus 400, which is going to give me 700. And then I've got 20 plus 70, which is going to give me 90. And then 7 plus 8, which is going to give me 15. So when I add straight down, I get 5, a 10, carry my 1, 805, right? Now, if I do 330 plus 478, I'm going to have 300 plus 400 is 700. 30 plus 70 is 100. And then I've got 8. So I would have 808. But then I've got to subtract 3 like she told me. So I subtract 3 from that, and it's going to give me 805. Same answer, because when you added 3 to your number and got 330, and then you subtract 3, if I do the same thing, it cancels out, so my whole doesn't change. The next question, it says Sam adds 249 plus 281 by writing his add-ins. Remember, add-ins are just numbers in a multiplication, or not multiplication, addition problem in a row. What is another way he can show? Well, if he's writing it in a row, like what we were doing here, we can do, remember, we can do straight up and down. So we can go 200 plus 200, and we can put 400 here. Then we can go 40 plus 80 is 120, and then we can have 9 plus 1, plus 1 is 10. And so adding it like this is straight up and down, which even when I divide it across like this, I do straight up and down. We're supposed to write it again down here, but so 530 would be my answer. I really like this last question. Max's little brother, Henry, is 2 years old. There are 365 days in a year. Now, guys, I've already told you, but for math purposes, we're not going to do that. It's 365 days and a fourth. That's the reason we have leap year every 4 years, because there's actually 365 days and a fourth. So technically, 2 years, a fourth plus a fourth is a half, but they're not saying that in the problem, so that's what we've got to stick to, is 365. But for science purposes, Max's little brother Henry is 2 years old. There are 365 days in a year, so if he's 2 years old, that means that he's had 2 of the 365. So you would have to add this twice, and I'm not going to work that one out because you all can do the partial sums. You can do the old school way. You can do whatever is needed. Then you have 2 more problems back here that you're going to work on. So you're either going to do partial product, but you're going to check your answer 2 different ways, okay? Make sure you got your correct answer, because mathematicians always, this doesn't matter how fast, it's being right with your numbers. Alright, Mr. Perez needs 650 sheets of construction paper for his class art project. How many packs of construction paper should he buy? Alright, so here's how many's in there. He has to have that many. So even if it's over, you've got to have enough sheets. Alright, so if it's 240 plus 240, that's 2 packages. Then I have 200 and 200 is 400. 40 and 40 is 80, and then 0 and 0 is 0, so it's 480. Well, that's not enough, so I need to take 480 plus 240 again and see what we get. 400 and 200 is 600. 80 and 40 is 120, and then 0 and 0, so that'd be 720. Is that going to be enough? It is. So therefore he needs 1, 2, 3 bundles. So 3 packs. It would be our answer. He would have some left over as well And that would be Miss Haycraft's challenge question. Well, how many sheets over would he have? All right. Tyrone School raised $345 at their school fundraiser and $486 at their bake sale. They used, ooh, I love this problem, $650 to buy the money they raised to buy new playground equipment. How much money did Tyrone School raise? I don't like how that one's worded. Because my literal students are going to say, well, they raised this and they raised this, but they used this. And it doesn't ask you how much money do they have now. It asks you how much money did they raise. And technically, if that's what you're asking, you're only going to combine these two numbers because that's what they used. Yeah, I would have reworded this question if it was mine and said how much money do they have now. But let's go with this question, and it's asking how much money did that school raise. So you're going to have 345 plus 486. Alright, now you can write it up and down. You can do partial product. So I got 300 and 400, which is 700. 40 and 80, which is 120. And then 5 and 6, which is 11. 1, 3, 8. So 831 is how much money they raised. Over here, I'm just going to do it one more time to make sure I'm correct. 11, carry my 1, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13, carry my 1, and then I've got 8 there, and my numbers are the same, so therefore the probability of me being correct is higher. So Tyrone School raised $831. Alright, and we're not going to do number 12. But I do want to go back up here and say, well, let's check your work on this. So if I did 400 plus 100, I will get 500. If I did 50 plus 30, I'll get 80. And if I do 8 plus 9, I get 17. 795. So let's go over here. I want to check it one more way just to make sure. This is what I call the old school way. It's because it was the way I was taught. 9 plus 8 is 17. Carry my 1. 5, 8, 9, and then 5. Do I get the same answer? I do. So therefore, the probability of my answer being correct is higher. Looking at the next question, you should have done 700 plus 200 equals 900. 10 plus 30 equals 40. And then 9 plus 4 equals 13. Add it all together. I have 3 ones, I have 5 tens, and I have 9 hundreds. Coming over here to double check, 719 plus 234. 9 plus 4 is 13, so I have a 10 I need to move over. I have 5 in my tens place, and I have 9 in my hundreds place. Same answer both times, so therefore the probability of my answer being higher, or being correct, is higher. So that's how we're going to do lesson 210. Fluently add within 1,000.